What is up, family? Welcome back to another live edition of Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. If you are new to my channel, welcome. And to those of you that are returning subscribers, you already know what time it is, baby. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, who we got? Logo. We got some of y'all in the house already here. Y'all waiting on me. Let me apologize first. I'm a little bit late. Very busy today. I felt like James Brown today. Hardest working man in show business. You know what I'm saying? But there were no shows going on today, or were they? I don't know. I'll tell y'all about that a little bit later. Let me check in with everybody right now. We got Anya's Intuitive in the house. What's up, sis? Got Anya's Intuitive in the house. Always a treat. Always a treat to see you up in here. We got Cassandra in the house. We got Lady Dagger Status in the house. We got Karen in the house, y'all. Man, I'm so happy to see y'all. I haven't seen y'all in a minute, man. I'm telling you, every time it seems like if I'm gone too long, man, it feels like I went on a long journey. It feels like I went on a military deployment when I'm gone from y'all too long. But I got some exciting news for y'all tonight. I'm gonna share that with y'all in just a little bit. All right. Cassandra said, greetings, Matt, and everyone in the chat. I'm sure the live is gonna be straight. We'll be joining a bit later. All right, we got you, Cassandra. Thank you. So what's up, family? Y'all ready to talk about some more 3i Atlas? Y'all ready to talk about some more prophecy tonight? Y'all know it's gonna be one of them kind of nights. I got some videos for y'all, and I may need my readers tonight, y'all, just because it's been that temperature out there right now. Yo, the hawk is out. I don't know where y'all watching me from tonight. I don't know where y'all are watching from tonight, but let me tell you something. Over here in the southeastern United States, the hawk is out. All right. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a case in point, man. I went to the Panthers game yesterday, and I was wearing a t-shirt out there at the Panthers game yesterday. It was hot. Now, 24 hours later, we're a couple of degrees above freezing. Y'all take care of yourselves in this weather, all right? Take care of yourselves. If you ain't got to go out, don't go out. Bernadette said it's snowing there. See what I'm saying? Oh, we got BE Royalty in the house. What's up, BE Royalty? Y'all take care of yourself out there, family. It's some wild weather out there. It's some wild weather. And there's some people out there saying it's natural, and there's some other people saying it ain't natural. We don't know what's going on. We know that this matrix is unstable. It's unstable. It's volatile right now. It could go off at any moment. It could crumble at any moment. That Daniel chapter 2, stone cut out, not with hands, get land on that feet, part iron, part clay, any moment. All right. What's up, Tora girl? Thank you for being here. Okay. She said, yeah, it is cold. What we got here? We got some, what's up? Aparanjita Banner. Okay. All right. What's up there? Thank you for joining. All right, y'all. Let me do this. Y'all know the vibes. I got to get me some hot tea. And when I come back, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all a dope little intro. We're gonna show some videos. I got some videos for y'all tonight that sort of support what we're talking about. Y'all know when I bring video content in, it's typically from TikTok. So y'all be sure that you write down these TikTok usernames and go and check out some of their work. All right. Go and check their work out. I show it under fair use, but I also am somebody who will not recreate the wheel. Why do it? Right. There's other people out there doing some phenomenal work, covering some phenomenal topics. And they benefit all of us. So y'all be sure to support them by checking out their TikToks, all right? She said it's cold tonight. First frost day tomorrow. Yeah, it's cold everywhere. So look, let me put some royalty-free reggae on for y'all. And then I'm going to go and grab my readers because I feel like I'm going to need them tonight, y'all. That temperature change, I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm going to need my readers. So I'm going to go and get them. And then I'm going to leave y'all some royalty-free reggae music. And I'm going to grab me some hot tea, and when I come back, y'all, I'm gonna show y'all some videos, and we're gonna dig into this content. Prophecy, 3i Atlas, the return of the divine feminine, and the preparation for the sacred union. Yo, shout out to BE Royalty. BE Royalty, you've been sharing some cool stuff on your community board. So I've been looking at some of that, and I got an exciting announcement for y'all when I get back. Talking about them divine unions, I got an exciting announcement for y'all when I get back. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talbot. Y'all listen to some royalty-free reggae. I'll be right back with y'all, fam. right, y'all, let's take it on down. Let's take it on down. All right, welcome back to another live edition of Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. For those of y'all that are new, welcome once again. And for my returning subscriber family, welcome y'all. Welcome back, family. Welcome back. All right, let me get this party started, man. Let me figure out where I want to jump in with this, all right? Because we're talking about this prophecy, y'all. It's still prophecy season. It's still prophecy season. I told y'all some things are winding down for me. But, you know, every now and then, just when I think I'm done, the Most High will drop something new on my lap and say, Matt, run with this one. Run with this one. All right? So, listen, tonight's video is for entertainment purposes only. And I say that for the YouTube watchdogs, because y'all always watching. Y'all always watch. Y'all YouTube watchdogs got more watch hours than the watchers. All right? Y'all got more watch hours than the subscribers combined up in here. Y'all love watching, especially channels like mine and other people who drop this kind of content. Enjoy it, because it's for entertainment purposes only, baby. All right. In this for entertainment purposes only live stream, we will explore the possible link between 3i Atlas and several passages of prophetic scripture found in the Old Testament. And I'm going to be getting into that in just a little bit. All right. Tour Girl said, Matt, slowly reading the Twin Flame. It's so detailed. I'm marking up the book. Oh, you know what, man? Let me stop playing with myself. I'm trying not to. That didn't sound right. Okay. For anybody listening on the road who driving and you ain't watching, I didn't mean for that to sound the way it might have sounded. All right. Let me stop playing myself. How's that? I don't know where that word for came from. We ain't doing that over here. She said, it's so detailed. I'm making up the book. It's like a college textbook, but loving it. I'm now on the main course. Perfect. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I need a few more people to enjoy it too. So y'all pick it up. Speaking of, do I want to get into that before we get started? Let me check my notes. Let me see where I'm at. Thank y'all for being here, by the way, man. I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all that keep coming back to this channel, man. Y'all special. Y'all are special. So let me see. Where do I have this in my notes? Do I want to save it till the end, or do I want to drop it up front? You know what? Yeah, let me drop it up front. Okay. Yeah. Let me give y'all some news, and then I'm gonna give y'all in the news, okay? And then you know what? Y'all know my saying, I can show you better than I can tell you. So let me share a window and show y'all what's happening. Okay. Let me show y'all what's happening. Hold on, wait a minute. What we got here? Okay. She said it's about quality here, not the quantity. Thank you. I appreciate that, fair use. I do. I greatly appreciate that. Said I'm about to reread the Adam and Eve section of your book. Yo, that was interesting. That was very interesting. Thank you, Bernadette. Man, I love y'all. Y'all are so engaging and so engaged. I love y'all. All right, let me see what I want to do with this. First of all, I don't want this tea to be so strong I can't drink it. So let me bob it a couple times more and squeeze the extra juice out. And then let's get on with it, y'all. Let's get on. So, because this tea I'm holding, and I ain't even talking about the tea I'm drinking. I'm talking about this hot tea I'm holding that I'm trying to figure out where to drop it in there. I need to just go ahead and let y'all know right now. But I can show you better than I can tell you. So let me bring it up. Hang on. All right. So let me do this. So y'all know what I've been working on today here. What I've been working on for the last few days here. Let me share the screen with you because I can show you better than I can tell you. So let me show y'all. Real quick. Then we're going to get started. All right. Announcing. I've extended, y'all. I got a new YouTube channel. Maddie T's Twin Flame Guidance. This channel was created as a supplement to the book. So I am now going to be doing weekly divine feminine, divine masculine, and collective readings based on your zodiac sign. So the zodiac sign readings will be on Fridays, barring any unforeseen circumstance. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait. Why is this not on the screen? Hold on. Having trouble connecting. This is often caused by an unstable internet connection. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging into your router or moving closer. Okay, there we go. There we go. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. All right. Let me make it bigger for y'all. Hang on. All right. Maddie T's Twin Flame Guidance. All right. This is for y'all. Let me tell y'all, I've had a number of individuals. Like I told y'all, I got a lot of Twin Flame, not Twin Flame. What am I trying to say? I got a lot of tarot readers that follow my channel here, and I love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Several of you have been telling me for years, Matt, why don't you start? You got all this knowledge. Why don't you start a channel? And I was like, no, I'm not ready yet. That's not. Actually, I wasn't even saying no, I'm not ready yet. It was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. It was straight up, no, that ain't for me, man. Y'all got that. Y'all holding it down. You know, I do my part to help out the collective where I can and when I can. But I've received divine guidance to create this. And let me tell y'all something, man. Let me tell y'all something, because I'm gonna talk about a couple of things here. Let me take this off the screen. So that's my new channel. Y'all go over there and subscribe if you guys are interested in that type of subject matter. If you're on that journey or you're curious, go over there and subscribe to my new channel. Share it. Let people know that are listening. I'm gonna be dropping nuggets on there. There's gonna be daily, not daily, because I'm not doing content daily. Let me take this off the screen so I can wrap it off for a minute. I'm not gonna be doing content on there daily. Okay, the format for me on that platform is gonna be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, me doing uploadable content or on-demand content. So I'm back to how I started on YouTube. I'm creating videos. I didn't edit these at all tonight. I just went just like I was going live. So going live has actually made me better with my on-demand videos because I don't have to edit out as much because I'm not stopping and starting. So thank y'all, because y'all being here have helped me to develop as an on-demand content creator. So I appreciate you guys logging into the lives. Now, Mondays, I'm going to be doing divine feminine energy. Why? Monday, moon day. Lunes, okay? Lunes in Spanish, so lunes, okay? So we're doing divine feminine energy readings on Monday, and these are collective readings. They're not specific. I will not be doing any personal individual tarot card readings, oracle readings. I have done them for a select few in the past, but I don't advertise as such, and I will not be doing personal readings. So if anybody, once y'all get, as that channel continues to grow, anybody pop out there with a thumbnail that looks like me talking about, and then they send you a WhatsApp saying, hey, can you listen, brother, let me help you with this thing. I'm the person. God has told me that I should come and contact you because you are in a connection and he has an answer for you and you can only get that from me. Y'all already know why I'm doing that accent, right? Y'all feel me, right? Okay, y'all already know where the majority of them requests be coming from. All right, y'all feel me? But that's not me. If y'all hear that, y'all see that. That's not me, because I'm here to tell you right now, I don't solicit personal readings for anything. Y'all know, even when I was doing the natal chart readings, I said, hey, y'all email me if you want something. It's the same thing, but I'm not, there's no plans right now to do personal readings. If you need a personal reading done, I know some great readers. Okay? Anyway, so Mondays, divine feminine. Wednesdays, divine masculine, and Fridays are going to be all signs based on, whatever your zodiac is. And these are for the Twin Flame Collective, and these are going to be individual card pulls. So I'm doing single card pull, not individual. I'm doing a single card pull. I'm pulling an advice card after that if necessary. And then I do one or two oracle cards, and we're done. So you can capture the collective. Really, tarot is so powerful. You can get as detailed and as granular with it as you need to, or you can go high level and it's still going to be beneficial. And those of you that watch tarot channels, you already know that what the saying is, if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's a general collective reading, so it's not specific. If you want specific readers, there are readers out there that will give you a specific reading tailor-made for your particular situation or your energy. I'm here to help the collective. I created that channel to help the collective. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Y'all go over there and watch that intro video, because it'll go into detail with regards to how I came about doing that channel and why I did it. So, and then I got my first video I uploaded for Monday. So if you're a part of the Divine Feminine Collective, check out today's reading. Okay. All right. That's all I got on that. Now let me keep it moving. Let's see. Oh, what's up, Allie Rue? We got one rare jewel. Oh, she subscribed. Thank you, thank you, one rare jewel. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Let me see. Y'all hot over here in the comments? Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. She said, yes, no, with Lilith. I really didn't know about that story. Yeah, that's something I learned with learning about astrology, Torah girl. So everything's connected. Astrology, tarot, numerology, all of them sit on top of numerology. Numerology is the universe speaks in numbers, okay? Frequency, energy, vibration, all of that is based on numbers 0 through 9, okay? So all of your spiritual modalities really sit on top of numerology. They do. Okay. So, I learned about that with those modalities, and the same thing with tarot and astrology and numerology are intertwined. They are. So the difference with tarot, if you're doing a natal chart reading, it is giving you who you are, the energy of who you are. Tarot is dynamic, is the energy changes, is based on whatever the energy is that you're in, or whatever the energy of the day is, or whatever. And it's usually connected to somehow connected to astrology as well. So all of the 22 major arcana, and then the other cards, what is it, 56, the 56 minor arcana cards, they all have cosmic energy infused into them. It's just they're based on the cosmos. So the cosmos came before the tarot cards. 22 major arcana, 22 original characters in the Hebrew language set. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. It all rolls back up to the Most High. It all rolls back up to source. It all rolls back up to the Creator. So anyway, yeah, that's a long way around the block to get you to the house next door there, Torah girl. Bernadette said she didn't hear about it either. Yeah, y'all can look that up. It's an interesting story. You know, you could look at it as mythology, but energy is energy. Energy is energy. So, and everybody has a Lilith placement in their chart. Okay, everybody has a Lilith placement in their chart, male or female. Everybody's got a Lilith placement, and that's your rebellious shadow side, feminine energy. And it's not to be looked at like it's a dark thing or like it's bad. There are times when you need your shadow, and there are other times when you need to get out of that shadow. So the way that goes is you control your shadow. You don't let your shadow control you. Okay. When you're walking down the street or the sidewalk or whatever on a sunny day, based on the position of the sun relative to you, that shadow follows you. It goes where you want to go. Wherever you go, that shadow follows. So you, in effect, are the controller of your shadow. When have you seen a shadow going this way and then you following the shadow? You know, it might look like you're following the shadow because the sun's behind you, but the truth of the matter is that shadow is connected to you, so it's going where you go. Where we fall out of alignment and get ourselves into trouble is when we let that shadow nature control us. It's not there for that. Okay, everybody got a light side and a shadow side. Somebody come in your house uninvited at 2:30 or dark 30, whatever. You need to harness that shadow real quick and deal with the situation. Ain't no love and light when you got an intruder. Ain't no love and light. That's when you get in that. That's when you access. That's when you tap into that shadow. That's just a case in point. But you don't tap into that shadow because somebody cut you off in traffic and you want to reach in your glove box and do something stupid. That'll get you either unalived or get you loss of freedom for the rest of your life. Some rough examples, but they are what they are. Okay. So, let's see. She said the most painful part was that my twin flame might stay away from me so not to hurt me. Yeah. You know what? You know what, Torah girl, make sure you check the reading I just uploaded when we're done here. I did my first divine feminine collective reading for tonight. There's a message in there for you. I promise. This is showing me how man, how tapped in, how selected, how chosen. I don't even say those things to brag, because like most of us just want to be regular, right? But you know, when God directed you to do something versus your ego, like that ain't something I wanted to do. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna get on into the night's comment or content. That was not something I wanted to do. I'll be honest with you. I told you, everybody's got Virgo in their chart. Whether you have a planet in Virgo or not, you have a house that is ruled by Virgo, okay? I told y'all with my chart, I got Virgo in the 11th house. And the shadow side, one of the shadow sides of Virgo is worrying about what somebody might say or think about you. That was a real struggle for me. But this content on my own channel that comes through me spoke to me and said, how can you sit up there and deliver content about always telling people to get out of that Virgo South Node, get out of that worrying about what somebody might say or think about you, and you up in here stifled and being stymied by your own ego that says, well, I just went through all of that with my Maddie's Rap spiritual channel back in 2021 through about 2024 before they finally left me alone. Do I want to start this all over again? What's my daddy gonna say if he sees this? My ultra religious daddy. Now I know my mom. My mom's a little bit more spiritually. I ain't saying she's more spiritually tapped in than my dad. I would say my mother's probably more spiritually tolerant than my dad is. My dad is like hardline ultra religious. It ain't. If you ain't talking about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, my dad, he's like it's probably coming from another place. And that's not to say that he's not judgmental from the standpoint of telling somebody how to live their life or coming down on somebody that might have fallen on skid row or be on hard times. He's very generous when it comes to that. I mean, he does a lot for a lot of people. I watch him and I'm impressed and I learn from him. But I was worried. I was like, man, you know what? What am I gonna have to? Could this fundamentally change my relationship with my dad? Because he might try to preach to me about this. And I'm like, I can't do that. I gotta run the race that God gave me. His race is his, my race is mine. So anyway, thank y'all for being so supportive. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. But Tor Girl, check out that reading. Anybody that's on that journey, I'm gonna do the Divine Feminine every Monday, barring any unforeseen circumstances. So I know y'all thought that Matt was gonna fade into the background once I get these last 3 moon videos out of the way, and then I've done 24 moon videos over a 12-month period. But I ain't going nowhere. God he just shifted me and pivoted me in a different area. And it's probably long overdue because I've been on this particular track for a while. And this is probably the season for me to shift. So the shift happened on its own. Was it triggered by any of these cosmic transits? Probably so. But let's keep it moving, y'all, because I know y'all ain't come here to hear me talk about myself. All right. So she said that's what bothered me too, to her girl. I'm wondering if that's why I'm still single. We could talk about that, Bernadette. We could talk about that, okay? Because now we're getting into the nuts and bolts. So let me talk to you offline. Let me talk to you offline because that is something that is a question that can be answered by looking at your natal chart astrology, believe it or not. Okay. Thank you, One Rare Jewel, again. And what's up, Ali Rue? Thank you for being here. All right. So I think we are good enough to she said right now I'm deep diving into Mary Magdalene, Lilith. To me, it's the same energy like Enoch and Michael and Sophia and Monad. Yeah, man, y'all deep. I learned from y'all. I'm telling you, I learned so much from y'all. Okay. Seems to me they've hidden the 13th discipline and maybe the 13th sign. I've heard about Ophiuchus, which is the 13th constellation, but if I don't fully understand it or it hasn't been given to me to speak on, when it's given to me to speak on, the Most High teaches it to me. The Most High teaches it to me before I have to speak on it. And I haven't had any inclination or any direction to go with Ophiuchus, so I still deal with the 12. She said, yeah, I have a lot of Virgo placements. Yeah, so you know that. What's up, Tony? Thank you for being here. Nature Sounds for Relaxation. Thank you. She said, wow, this is confirmation. I had those exact same sentiments today. When there is an intruder, you have to tap into that shadow. You absolutely do. All right, y'all. So let me get into the content. Let me open up my notes. All right. All right, so let me talk about in the news first, y'all. We're gonna talk about in the news because this is kind of an abstract from the subject matter tonight, but I wanted to bring it up because to me it's newsworthy, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier this year when I was telling you guys what we could expect to see with this Uranus in Taurus retrograde transit, and it is now retrograde in the sign of Taurus. So I told y'all what you might expect when Uranus, the energy of sudden, unexpected activity, okay? The energy of sudden, unexpected activity enters into the sign of Taurus, which is the sign of material possessions, wealth, abundance, things that we value, things that we treasure, things that we hold near and dear, that sort of thing. I told y'all what y'all might expect. Well, in the news, y'all have probably heard of it. President Donald John Trump has announced that he's authorized the release of $2,000 stimulus checks to the American population, the American public. $2,000 stimulus checks. How does that apply, Matt? Pardon me. How does that apply here? How does that apply to the Uranus in transit? Uranus in Taurus transit? Real simple. I just told you what Taurus energy is about. I told you what Uranus is about. Who expected a week ago or 2 weeks ago that they were going to receive an unexpected $2,000 stimulus check? So I'm not big up in nobody. This ain't politics. I ain't talking politics. I'm talking astrology and showing you how real this astrology stuff is. And this is why you need to learn your own personal natal chart and learn how the cosmic energies affect you. Learn how they affect you, okay? And there's a passage of scripture on that in Job. I talked about that the last time. I could bring that up, but that's getting away from the subject matter of tonight's video. So I just wanted to talk about that. In the news, President Trump has announced $2,000 stimulus checks. Guess what? Uranus has gone retrograde in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is where money lives, and it's where money lives in the natal chart. And guess what? Uranus is the energy of sudden, unexpected activity. So y'all put it together. All right? Now, let me show y'all some 3i Atlas videos. Let's show some 3i Atlas videos now. Thank y'all for being here. Let's see. Where did I do with these videos? Let's see. 3i number 1. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 3i Atlas videos that I'm going to show you guys. And then we're going to get into something that's interesting. One of those videos also mirrors that sacred journey that we're talking about, the twin flame journey. One of these videos actually shows you how 3i Atlas mirrors the energy of the twin flame journey. I'm talking about the eternal cosmic journey of unification, separation, reunification. Okay, it's going to show you that. It's going to speak to that. And even some of these scriptures show you, quote unquote, twin flame energy in scripture, albeit the characters are the Most High and Israel. Okay, y'all pay attention. Every as above, so below, as within, so without. This stuff is coming around in this season for a reason, and I put that reason in the book. By the way, I'm not going to speak on it tonight. Shout out to everybody that has purchased the book, man. I appreciate y'all. I wrote it with y'all in mind, and I'm glad that y'all are learning from it and benefiting from it. That does my heart so much good. So thank y'all, and shout out to, I ain't gonna single nobody out, but shout out to those of you who have written reviews on Amazon. That helps so much. Y'all read, if y'all are reading a book, when you get done with it, please write a review for your boy on Amazon, but do not personalize it. Amazon is really good at picking out what they consider to be nepotism or whatever. So make sure you write it from the standpoint of somebody who doesn't personally know the author. Okay, that's all I ask. Thank you. Now let's get into these videos. Let's see. Number 1. Let's cue it up.
Hours ago, something impossible happened. An object from outside our solar system split perfectly in two. One half vanished completely. The other half began transmitting signals toward Earth. This is interstellar evidence. What you're about to hear will challenge everything we thought we understood about physics. If you're watching this, you're witnessing history unfold in real time. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This story is developing by the hour, and you don't want to miss what happens next. For 48 hours before the split, 3i Atlas maintained a perfectly stable orbit. Every major observatory on Earth was tracking it. NASA, ESA, observatories in Chile, Hawaii, Japan. The data was clean, predictable, no unusual velocity fluctuations, no orientation changes, no gravitational anomalies. The object was following every known law of celestial mechanics down to the millisecond. Then, without warning, it accelerated. Not a small adjustment, not instrument error. A massive, unprecedented acceleration that violated basic physics. When a comet moves away from the sun, solar gravity weakens. Objects slow down. That's fundamental orbital mechanics. But 3i Atlas did the opposite. The farther it traveled from the sun, the faster it moved. Exponentially. Multiple independent observatories confirmed it. Chile, Hawaii, the European Space Observatory. The acceleration was real, measurable, and impossible to explain through natural means. Here's what makes this terrifying. There was no propulsion signature, no ionized gas jets, no plasma tail, no spectral changes indicating outgassing. The object accelerated in absolute silence. Teams at Harvard, Caltech, and the European Space Physics Center ran every simulation. Gravitational influence from Jupiter? No. Interplanetary magnetic fields? No. Solar wind pressure? No. Internal gas release from a porous structure? None of the models fit. The data showed no physical mechanism that could produce this acceleration, which means we're looking at something beyond our current understanding of physics, or something that isn't natural at all. 36 hours before the split, every telescope pointed at 3i Atlas detected something new. Energy pulses emanating from the object's core. Not random bursts, not the natural radiation patterns. Perfect pulses repeating every 11 minutes. Calculated to nanosecond precision. Nothing in nature produces this level of regularity. Pulsars, the most stable rotating objects in the universe, show microscopic fluctuations over time. That's inevitable. But 3i Atlas was different. Its signal was absolutely precise, like the heartbeat of a machine. The astronomical community split immediately. One group argued
That's part one. Let's do part two.
doesn't allow it. Relativistic physics doesn't allow it. Yet the object remained intact. Data from Chile, Japan, and South Africa confirmed the same observations. The surface didn't melt, didn't crack. It changed at precise geometric rates, as if undergoing controlled transformation, like a machine preparing for launch. Then the 11-minute pulse sequence that had been regular for hours suddenly stopped. All emission signals ceased. No radiation, no energy waves, complete silence. The object stabilized in its new cylindrical form. Instruments went quiet. An eerie stillness fell over every observation system. None of us understood what had just happened. We were watching the data stream in, but we had no framework for interpreting it. We didn't know at the time that this silence was preparation. Because 11 hours later, 3i Atlas would do something no human was prepared to witness. 11 hours ago, after that long period of unnatural stability, the object split apart. No explosion. No fragmentation. No debris field. It separated along a single precise line, as if following a pre-programmed sequence. Two halves, exactly equal in size, drifting apart in perfect balance. For tracking purposes, observatories designated them Object A and Object B. Initially, both maintained stable parallel orbits, completely predictable trajectories. Then Object B changed direction, not a gradual curve, not orbital correction. A perfect 90-degree turn that no object following ballistic physics can make. It accelerated suddenly, reaching velocities far beyond known physical limits. And then it vanished. Not obscured, not out of range, gone. One moment it was visible on every monitoring system. Optical telescopes, infrared arrays, radio tracking, military satellites with classified signal analysis capabilities. All of them had lock. Then, in less than a millisecond, every signal cut off. NASA's Deep Space Network lost track immediately. The European Space Agency confirmed the same result. No reflections, no after effects, no light scattering, no gravitational signature. An object miles in diameter, moving faster than anything natural, simply disappeared from the universe as if it had never existed. From the control centers, the whispers began. Some suggested Object B hadn't actually disappeared, but had cloaked itself. Light-bending technology. Gravitational manipulation, even dimensional phase shifting. These theories sound like fiction, but the data forced us to consider them. Because if Object B can hide completely from all human observation technology...
All right. I didn't get to part three, but y'all get the idea. All right. Let's go on to the next video.
I/ATLAS just broke apart. And what we're witnessing isn't a random comet disintegration, it's a controlled separation that has completely changed the threat assessment for Earth. Tracking stations worldwide detected the split approximately 36 hours ago. Atlas, the mysterious interstellar object that's been defying physics since we first observed it, suddenly divided into two distinct fragments. Each piece is roughly half the size of the original object, approximately 400 meters across. And both fragments are now maneuvering independently toward Earth on separate trajectories. But here's what's sending shockwaves through the astronomical community. This wasn't a natural breakup. Natural objects that fragment in space create chaotic debris fields with pieces flying in random directions at varying speeds. Atlas separated cleanly into two equal-sized fragments that immediately began executing independent course corrections. Within hours of the split, both pieces were actively maneuvering using their own propulsion systems. We're not watching a comet fall apart. We're watching a spacecraft that just divided itself into two operational vehicles, each apparently capable of independent navigation and mission execution. And both are heading directly toward Earth on trajectories calculated to arrive at our planet from different directions simultaneously. Before we break down what this split means and why both fragments arriving together is so strategically alarming, hit that subscribe button and drop a like, because this just became a two-object crisis and we need to track every development. The question isn't whether ATLAS could split anymore, we watched it happen. The real questions are, why did it divide itself, and what happens when both fragments reach Earth at the same time? Let's examine exactly what happened during the split, because the details reveal this was absolutely intentional and meticulously planned. Multiple observatories captured the separation event. Atlas began emitting unusual electromagnetic pulses approximately 2 hours before the split. These weren't the communication signals we detected previously. These were high-energy bursts focused internally, apparently activating separation mechanisms within the object's structure. An aerospace engineer analyzing the event described it as engineered. What we observed matches procedures for spacecraft separation, the kind of controlled division where one vehicle splits into two independent craft. There were preparatory energy pulses, structural releases, and then a clean separation along what appears to be a designed seam. This was built to split. The separation itself occurred over approximately 8 minutes. Atlas's two halves moved apart gradually at first, maintaining parallel orientation for several minutes. Then small thruster burns from each fragment pushed them further apart, creating distance between the two pieces while keeping them on similar trajectories. What's extraordinary is that both fragments remained fully operational after separation. Each piece immediately began generating its own electromagnetic emissions, showing independent power systems. Each started making navigation adjustments, proving autonomous control, and each demonstrated the same impossible capabilities that ATLAS showed before the split: propulsion, maneuvering, active scanning. A spacecraft systems specialist explained the significance. Designing a vehicle to split into two independent operational units requires incredible engineering. You need duplicate power systems, redundant propulsion, separate control systems, and mechanisms to maintain both pieces after separation. This isn't accidental fragmentation. This is modular spacecraft design at a level we've never achieved. The split also released something else that has researchers deeply concerned. Observatories detected dozens of smaller objects emerging from the separation point, tiny fragments between 1 and 5 meters in diameter spreading out into space. These aren't debris. They're moving under power, taking up positions between the two main fragments like they're establishing a communication or sensor network.
All right, I'm gonna pause on that one. Let's talk about that for a minute. All right. One 3i Atlas vehicle. Let's call it a vehicle because we know it's not a space rock. One singular unified 3i Atlas vehicle splitting into two equal parts and then both coming toward the Earth doing independent functions. Is that not the journey of so-called twin flame divine counterparts? Y'all see the connection? As above, so below. You cannot make this stuff up. You can't make it up. So at a time when the age is shifting and you are seeing the balancing and rebalancing of the masculine energy in the earth and the feminine energy, let me just say it. We know what happens. I talked about this in a video that I did roughly 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, titled was the return of the divine feminine prophesied in scripture. I talked about that. I talked about how when the cosmic age is in a water or an earth sign, the earth, the dominant energy in the earth plane, water and earth are feminine energies, right? So when the cosmos is in a feminine sign, the dominant energy in the earth is masculine. When the cosmic age shifts to a masculine sign, air or fire, in our case, it's the age of Aquarius, the dominant energy in the earth becomes the feminine energy. So we're seeing this shifting and rebalancing of energy, and it's wow, it's exciting, y'all. But that when I saw that particular video, I said, should I consider that coincidence that this thing has split evenly into two identical halves of the same whole, but doing different functions? That is the work of divine masculine and divine feminine. Y'all gonna see when we get to the scripture portion of tonight's video, where in the book of Jeremiah, in the reference that I'm talking about here, y'all know it comes from the 16th chapter. I'm gonna read it anyway. But you have this: first I will send for the fishers, and they will fish them. Then I will send for the hunters. Fishers gather fish, okay? you can look at that as a feminine energy in a sense, okay? Because it is grabbing something and pulling it inward. On the flip side, you got, he says, then I'm going to send the hunters. The hunters attack. The fishermen gather, the hunters attack. So one aspect of that section of prophecy is feminine, the gathering of the fish. The other is the masculine, the hunters, and they shall hunt them out of. I'm gonna read it. But y'all, do you see how this stuff is coming together? But again, this is for entertainment purposes only. Don't nobody get your whatever garment in a wad. All right. Don't get upset at me. Don't shoot the message. Don't shoot at the messenger. All right. All right. So let me put some comments on the screen here. Said I was doing sounding baths with tuning forks. It was odd, but they scared for real. Yup. Forefathers and mothers are here. OMG. Yep. I've been watching some of Stephen Burns videos too. I like his energy too. Stephen's a cool dude. He reminds me of some of them cats I used to work with when I was working in the technology sector. Let's see. Mr. MB333, flight stranded, another plane crashed in backyard. Wow. First time hearing that part about Stephen Slip. So listen, let me say this about this fair use before I go to the next video. Because me and my brother were having this conversation a couple of days ago, one of my brothers, and he was talking about how, you know, the politics of the current environment in this country are affecting air travel. And I said, well, bro, I personally think that's the cover story, because for safety purposes, they know the effects of these highly charged ionic particles leaving the sun and hurtling towards Earth. Confirmation burp, okay? They know the highly charged particles of the energy, the plasma energy that's leaving the sun, the coronal mass ejections, the solar flares, what they do to electronics, okay? So if you got airplanes up in the air during a solar storm, you could have an untold number of planes falling out of the sky because the electronics and the avionics are failing. So I said, the government shutdown is a convenient story, but I think there's a little bit more to the cancellation of all of these flights, and I think it has everything to do with the solar energy and what's being beamed from 3i Atlas. Let's keep it moving. All right. So yeah, that's that is yeah. Thank you for adding that, fair use. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's go to the next video. Just thought that was interesting. I wanted to stop on that third video because that mirrors the journey of twin souls / mirror souls / divine counterparts, or whatever label you want to apply to the energy. This stuff is happening, and it's wonderful watching this.
Have y'all ever noticed that every time divine truth hits the planet, the system suddenly shuts down? Yep, that's not a coincidence because it is frequency interference. Let's talk about it. So while the world is talking about government shutdowns, the cosmos just sent us an interstellar visitor, the 3 Atlas, and no, it is not just a rock. Let's talk about it. This energy did not come from our solar system. It came from outside of the matrix. It's carrying data, light codes, and frequencies that the Earth has not experienced in thousands of years. And it's on a one-time path through our orbit, a literal cosmic drive-by, to trigger awakenings in souls who are ready to remember. So when a foreign energy enters a closed system, everything starts glitching. Governments shut down, systems break, people panic. But those who've been doing the inner work, you'll feel alignment, remembrance, and divine confirmation. Because interstellar frequencies don't bring fear, they bring truth. So if you've been feeling extremely sensitive, emotionally detached from the 3D noise, you're not crazy. You're just sinking in with the new frequency wave. Remember to ground your energy, stay hydrated, speak your truth, and protect your peace. This is a cosmic initiation season, and only authentic souls will rise through it.
Y'all heard her. Next video. I'm gonna keep going through these. Leave your comments in the chat or underneath the video.
Multi-strike solar storm is on the way. Are our communication satellites in big jeopardy? And we have 3i Atlas acting weird again. I'm meteorologist Todd Gross. You've got to see this. Astronomers took this weird photo of 3i Atlas a couple of days ago. This is the actual shot, but a negative image shows more clearly that there are streaks coming out in all directions in the tail, including forward from the actual coma of the comet head. And yeah, I mean, it looks like jet propulsion, but probably isn't, because the comet is right on course. It hasn't deviated from course, unlike what you may have been told. But one thing is for sure, that's a weird look to a cometary tail, to see those streaks come out like that. And this other image taken just yesterday shows a smoky-looking tail coming out the back. It's acting in ways that we're not used to, likely because it's coming from outside our solar system. But the more important story today is the sun. This sunspot group has been traversing the sun and releasing X-class flares at the Earth and the coronal mass ejections shooting out towards Earth. And we're expecting geomagnetic storms this week. But the latest one that happened early this morning, a lot of the actual material from the coronal mass ejection, the plasma coming out from the sun, actually circled back into the sun, but some of it escaped. I'll show you. This is from a spacecraft out about 1 million miles or so towards the sun, and then what it does is it blocks out the sun. It's called a coronagraph. And then we're looking, of course, right here at what was the coronal mass ejection coming our way, spreading out in all directions from the sun, meaning it's facing us. When it does that, it either is facing the other way or it's facing us, and in this case, it's facing us, and it's heading in 1 or 2 days away now, likely catching up to another one that was released from the sun yesterday. If they add up, then we could be in trouble this week with a major geomagnetic storm, possibly as high as a G4 geomagnetic storm, maybe even higher. If it gets like it was last May of 2024, then our communications satellites have to take some sort of maneuver because they almost came down, believe it or not, 1.5 years ago in that May 10th event in 2024. A lot of them were, pressed by that solar activity lower into the atmosphere. We'll have to see what happens with that. But for aurora lovers, now that the moon is becoming less of an influence, we're likely to see an auroral oval like this again during this week. Possibly tonight, possibly Tuesday night, possibly Wednesday night. I'll let you know as we get closer to it. In this case, this is from last week, late in the week, the auroral oval dropped down into the northern United States, and a lot of folks were able to see the aurora borealis, the northern lights, but the moon's light was interfering, so it wasn't a great look to it, unless you were up in Canada or Alaska. But we'll keep you posted on this. Again, as I've explained before, we get about a half hour to an hour and a half notice from that spacecraft that's out there as to when we're going to get that impact. So I can let you know when the aurora is just moving in. Make sure to follow me so you get the notifications when I give you the alert. Meanwhile, what is your opinion about all the weird stuff going on with 3i Atlas? I'm curious. Tell us in the comments on that as well.
Heating up. It is heating up. Oh, let's see. Was that number 5? Yes. Number 6. 2 more videos to go.
Let me share some new information with you about 3i Atlas, information which you should not ignore. 3i Atlas is doing something new. You knew it was going to do that, didn't you? Now, the new thing 3i Atlas is doing is visible in some new photos which dropped on Saturday, November the 8th. Let me show you the pictures. So guys, this single picture is a composite of pictures put together by 3 different astronomers. They published this on Saturday, November the 8th. I'm going to back out of the way, but have a look at this. A complex jet structure emanates from 3i Atlas after perihelion. Look at these lines here. Here, there. Astronomers are telling us that there are at least 7 jets of gas or plasma are now emanating from 3i Atlas. Some of them are pointing toward the sun, some of them are pointing away from the sun. This is not something that comets typically do. It's very uncomet-like. Opinion time coming up. And here you can see that picture in its natural state. This is not the negative. In my opinion, guys, this is not a comet. Right? This is not a comet. And I think we just need to go ahead and admit that to ourselves. Why can I say it's not a comet? Because it does things that comets don't do. Most of the comets that we're aware of probably wouldn't have even survived that trip around the sun. Most of them just break up and disintegrate, and they puff away, and we say, oh, that was a great comet. This one not only survived, it got brighter and brighter as it went. It turned blue, and then, bam, it's powered its way from behind the sun with its own non-gravitational acceleration. It's not a typical comet. I don't think this is a comet. All right, Mr. Smart Guy, then what is it? I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I think it's okay if we admit that we don't know what it is. There are going to be times when we encounter the unknown. I think this is one of those times. I think that a number of the scientists who are observing it also believe that this is just one of those times when we get an unknown on our hands. And that's a chance for us all to learn something. By the way, 3i Atlas is going to be making its closest approach to Earth on December the 19th. That's when it'll be the closest to our planet that it's ever been. I wonder what it's going to do then. Let me know what you think in the comments.
How many times are they going to change the date with 3i Atlas? They keep changing it. They keep changing it. It's crazy. It's crazy. She said people still claiming it's 3i is blue beam. We don't know. We don't know. I mean, and I haven't ruled that out. I have not ruled that out, B Royalty. But what cannot be denied is the energetic and consciousness shift that is taking place on the planet right now. That's undeniable. So whatever the source of it might be, it kind of is irrelevant because it's happening. It is happening. The effect is happening in the elevation of human consciousness. That's the scary part for the dark side. All right. She said the way things are going on in this world, we are at the peak of total reset. 3i is showing us you don't know what real technology is. Exactly. I agree with that 100%. All right, let's show the last video. Let's show the last one.
3i Atlas, the spaceship that's coming, it's coming because they broke spiritual law. We're at a point of critical mass, meaning that it is the worst that it has ever been in a certain period of time, as linear time, but in a certain age. We are coming to the nearing of the end of that particular age. And because of that, people are experiencing points in their life where they're the most miserable they've ever been, to the point where people can't even feel anymore. They're looking for something, but they can't find it. Even with these devout religious people, they're still not finding what they've been looking for, because what has taken place is a crime against all humanity. TikTok, this is just hypothetical satire. If you know, you know. But what's going to take place is going to remove the imbalance that's been going on for the past 400 to 2,000 years. In actuality, the last 6,000 years. That imbalance, that uneasiness, that waking up every day feeling like, oh, I can't wait till this shit is over, that's about to fade away for you if you're feeling that. But only if you've been putting in the work necessary. Only if you're one of those ones who know how hard it's been for you over the past few years because of all the sacrifices you made to get to your higher self. This is not a blanket statement. This is not reserved for everybody. And it also is deeper than the color of your skin. Although we are the ones that look like me, who've been lied about and treated like shit and gaslit, we are the true chosen. But there are some that will be grafted in based off of the frequency in their heart. But you'll be surprised, because there will be ones that look like us that ain't right neither. All I'm saying is what's taking place is not just physical within this world with the two eyes that we can see, but it's a spiritual happening. And those who are on this wave are on it. Nothing can knock them off. But those of you who've been faking, who've been lying, who've been playing games, who've been getting over on people, who've been manipulating, who've been narcissistic and all of that other stuff, your time is up. And the truth is coming out massively. And there's nothing you can do to stop that.
Sure, you better preach, sis. You better preach, sis. Yeah. I think I played the right video at the end. I think I played the right snippet at the end because she was spot on. Y'all have heard me talk about the workers of iniquity and what the word iniquity is a derivative of. Inequity, imbalance. So the workers of iniquity are agents of imbalance. And they have upset the balance of this planet, and it has gone on for too long. And what has happened is, with all of these people that are just sick and tired and over it, giving off the energy of being sick and tired and over it, are doing is they're calling in change. They're calling it in. This is how Proverbs 26 and 27 never fails. Whoso diggeth the pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth the stone, it'll roll back on him. All of this wicked sorcery and got people's minds all trapped up in the low vibration of fear and all of this Saturnian religious practices, making everything about rewards versus punishment and all of this. They got to get it back. They got to get it back. They have got to get it back. The controllers of this world, they went overboard. They went too far. And now they're falling by their own devices. This is the reset. Y'all, I was looking at a video the other day on YouTube. I started watching it, didn't finish it, but it was photographs of some of these cities from like 200 years ago, and they were empty. They were like, where are all the people in these photographs? These are cities. Where were all of the people when these photographs were taken? Now, some people argue and they say, oh, they photoshopped them out just to play tricks on people. Why? Like, that's a lot of time. Like, why would somebody go through that great length to Photoshop people out of a 1800s photo? Okay. And then when you look at these buildings, you look at these structures, you're like, that structure is a little bit too perfect. It looks like it was 3D printed. A lot of these buildings around the world, they look like they were 3D printed off site and placed here. You gonna tell me where they say founded in 1840 or whatever, that they brought all of the materials to build those monolithic structures with horse and buggy? Y'all miss me with that. Y'all miss me with that. All right, let me proceed in my notes. That's the end of the video content for tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Yeah, so let's see. Could their reported even split in the object be the initial phases of the prophecy found in Jeremiah chapter 16, verses 14 through 16? Well, let's have a look, Matthew. Let's have a look and see, family. Let's have a look. Oh, let's see. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Jeremiah. Let's get off of that. Just looking at some other stuff earlier. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 14. We're talking about that even split. Here we go. For entertainment purposes only, of course. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Most High, that it shall no more be said, the Lord, or the Most High liveth, or the power liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the power liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he had driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. Bring them again into their land that I gave to their fathers. Where is it? Where is it? Are we there now, or are we going there? Verse 16, behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, saith the power, and they shall fish them. The fishers are going to fish them. Fish who? Maybe the clue is in the context. Okay. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. I have to wonder if the who was in the original text and got edited out. I have to wonder about that, okay? Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, saith the Most High, saith the power, and they, the fishers, shall fish them. Fish who? Is this the gathering of the elect? Is this what is being said in verse 15, just a verse before? But the power liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands where he had driven them. And I will bring them again into the land that I gave to their fathers. Where my fishermen out there? Where my brothers and sisters that go fishing out there? When you fish, you pull them out of the water and place them in the bucket so that they can be carried back to the house for you to do whatever you're going to do with them. Typically eat, okay? You ain't bringing them to put in your aquarium, all right? So fishing, it deals with transporting something from one place to another. When you fish, you pull the fish out of the water and then you transport them and remove them and take them to another place. Hunters, they kill on sight. It's on sight for hunters. For whatever reason they're hunting. All right, I'm going to leave that where it is. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the power, and they shall fish them. And after, what did I always say? The children of Israel throughout history, okay? The chosen ones. Let me not make it specific to Israel. Why? Because the Messiah said in the book of Matthew, I believe it was, and maybe in John, he said, I have other sheep with me, and them I must take too. I believe that comes from John chapter 10. Let me sidestep for a minute. Let me sidestep, y'all. Let me sidestep. Okay. John chapter 10. Let me just jump right here in 20. Let's see. Verse 16. John chapter 10, verse 16. And other sheep I have which are not of this fold. But let's see. And other sheep I have which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring. And they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Other sheep I have which are not of this fold. That's very profound. Okay. Okay. That's very profound. So let me say the elect. Let me not say just the children of Israel, because there's some elect that are not of the seed or lineage of Jacob. Okay. Let me just say that. Greatest example I love to give is Rahab in Jericho. Okay. Rahab made it out. The rest of them Canaanites didn't. Just going to leave it at that. All right. So that is that. That, I think, could that be that vehicle 3i Atlas splitting into? Could that be? We don't know, but we're going to see. And I wasn't even trying to rhyme that time. I did it again, y'all. Could it be? We don't know, but we're going to see. And I wasn't even trying to rhyme that time. Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Y'all good. Y'all throw the hand clap emojis in there. Y'all know your boy nice with it. All right, let me keep going. All right. So let's talk about some of the attributes of 3i Atlas, because I said the title says prophecy, 3i Atlas, the return of the divine feminine and the preparation for the sacred union. Let's talk about some attributes of 3i Atlas. Let's talk about the color. What color is it glowing? What color is it glowing? It's glowing green. It's glowing green. What chakra does the color green map to? And is it a masculine energy zone or a feminine energy zone? Y'all put that in the chat. This is where we get interactive. Y'all put that in the chat. 3i Atlas is glowing green. What chakra zone does the color green map to? And is that a feminine or a masculine chakra? Heart, okay? Feminine or masculine? There we go. Y'all on it. Y'all on it. Y'all are on it. Heart chakra, that's the correct answer. Is that feminine zone or masculine zone? There we go. There we go. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Okay. All right. So, return of divine feminine. It's feminine. It's green. Heart chakra. Heart chakra. Heart chakra. Okay. Heart chakra. Yep. Feminine. Yep. All right. Let's keep going. I'm just making a case. Y'all can do what you want with it. Y'all be the jury. I'm just laying it out. I'm laying it out like counsel. I'm laying it out. Y'all gonna deliberate on this thing. All right. Pardon me. Okay. Now, let's see. Color. All right. Timing of its appearance. Let's talk about the timing of its appearance. We're at the end of the age of Pisces. We are at the end of the age of Pisces. Now, I said this earlier. I'm going to say it again. When the cosmic age is a feminine sign, the dominant energy in the earth realm is masculine. That is how we are balanced. That's how we're balanced. You don't have two feminines and two masculines. I don't care what some nations and with their policy let fly. That's not cosmic alignment. Yin and yang. It's called yin and yang, not yin and yin and yang. Y'all do what you want with that, okay? Y'all do what you want with that. Don't throw rocks at the screen, because if you do, you're only gonna break your own computer. Okay? Yin, yang, masculine, feminine, balance, a plus and a minus at the atomic level, a plus and a minus. Okay? All right. So, at the end of an age, a cosmic age that is masculine, or let me step that back. When the cosmic age is a masculine sign, either an air sign or a fire sign, the dominant energy in the earth is going to be feminine. When the cosmic age is a feminine sign, either earth or water, the dominant energy in the earth realm is masculine. We just left the age of Pisces. Pisces is a feminine sign. The dominant energy in the earth realm during the age of Pisces was masculine energy. Okay? Conflict, struggle, rhetoric, the throat chakra. Okay? The throat chakra. You got the solar plexus and the root chakra. All of the root chakra, that's money, security, finance, all of that. All that stuff is masculine energy. Okay. I know y'all gonna say, hey, well, that's the second house function. That's Taurus. Taurus is Venus energy. That's feminine. Venus is a feminine ruled, what you call it, planet, or feminine. Venusian energy is feminine. However, the institution, the building and the structuring of these institutions were the product of masculine energy. Now that the age is flipped and we are now in the age of Aquarius, we're seeing the falling away of those old structures that were put into place by masculine energy, and they're going to be replaced with new structures that will be put in place by the energies of creativity, love, the heart frequency, and intuition, the third eye. That's what's coming next. Okay? So just keep that in mind. I talked about that in that video, was the return of the divine feminine prophesied in scripture. Okay? When the cosmic age is masculine, the dominant energy in the earth. When the age above is masculine, the energy that dominates below is feminine. When the age above is feminine, the energy that dominates below is masculine. That is the balance. That's the balance. Okay? Now, let's talk about the apparent increase in the manifestation of spiritual gifts since 3i Atlas first appeared. We know that 3i Atlas is flashing green. Green applies to the heart chakra. The heart chakra, all of the feminine energies heal. We'll be talking about that. All of the feminine energies heal. I'm talking about that about 2 more bullet points. Okay? So, you have to wonder, is this the queen bee from the celestial beehive returning to repair this earth realm, to clean up the old and install the new? Okay? All right, you got to wonder. But when you talk about some of the byproducts, we are, in fact, without a doubt, seeing an increase in the manifestation of spiritual gifts. A lot of you are undergoing them right now. A lot of you are. A lot of you are going through them. A lot of you are seeing these gifts. I'm seeing them. A lot of y'all are getting downloads. A lot of y'all are getting foresight. A lot of y'all are getting insight that you never ever saw before, that you've never seen in your life. Okay? A lot of y'all, telepathy is picking up. You're transmitting and receiving telepathic messages from people, even from your animals. For those of y'all that have dogs and cats, you're even communicating with your pets telepathically now. That's feminine energy. Telepathy is a product of the third eye chakra, which is a feminine energy zone. Okay? So we have seen a massive increase in these capabilities since 3i Atlas showed up. All right? We're talking about these attributes of 3i Atlas and connecting it back to the title, which is this a connection to the return, or is this a signal, a siren signaling the return of the divine feminine? Is this the physical embodiment of the return of divine feminine energy, of the divine mother returning to the earth? What's another attribute of 3i Atlas? Unpredictability. Unpredictability. Is unpredictability more masculine or more feminine? I want to see what y'all got to say about that. Unpredictability. Is that more masculine or more feminine? Put some comments on the screen while y'all are going through that. By definition, November means 9. That is correct. Did we just enter the cosmic 999 portal? That would have to be correct. That's a great point, Karen. That is a great point. That would have to be correct. She says, stop it, yin yang. I wondered that too, Karen. Although September is the 9th month, November means 9 because it was originally the 9th month. That is correct. Great thought. She said, Sophia flows through me now. Wow. Tomorrow's 11/11. Yep. She said, I am. Yes, my telepathy is increased, and lately the phone rings and I know who's calling and it's tripping me out. Wow. Feminine. That's correct, Bella. Correct answer, Tora girl. Unpredictability is a feminine attribute. Okay? It's feminine. This 3i Atlas is unpredictable. We know that masculine energy is predictable. Feminine energy is unpredictable. All right? Fellas, y'all know. Just when you think you got your lady figured out, just when you think you got a female figured out, she done switched it up on you. Okay? That's why you got that's why you got to get your good female on your team to help you read that feminine energy. Because y'all, we can't do it. We think we understand. Now women talk on a whole different. They communicate. They vibe on a whole different level. But unpredictability is not masculine. Masculine energy is predictable. All right. The cat, you don't know what that feline, the cat, the canine is the dog. Dogs move predictably. They do. They bark. They let you know they're coming. That cat, you look up, it's like, where did that cat come from? Unpredictability. That's feminine. Okay. Next, feminine energy heals and nurtures. The question, we know that, right? Feminine energy heals and nurtures. Would y'all say the earth is sick right now? I don't even got to wait for y'all to put that in the chat. The earth is sick and the energy is unstable. Okay. Is it? Or is everything fine? You still got people running around here talking about, well, man, as soon as we get Donald Trump out of office, then everything's going to go back. It ain't no normal. Y'all stop it already. Nothing. The first moving away from the norm was September 11th, 2001. Has anything gone back to normal? Has anything gone back to pre-September 11, 2001 since that happened? No. So people are sitting here waiting for the right politician to come in and save the country and save the world. It's over with. It's over with. That was a product of the Matrix. The Matrix is collapsing. Feminine energy heals and nurtures. Is the earth sick and the energy unstable? Or is everything just fine? Y'all know the answer to that. Y'all ain't even got to put that in there. Okay. So the previous bullet point, feminine energy heals and nurtures. Let's look at the three feminine zodiac will axes to show you the cosmic support for that truth that feminine energy heals and nurtures. Okay. All right. Let's look at the three axes. Axis number 1, Cancer, Capricorn. Let's take that one first. Cancer energy nourishes. Capricorn energy provides nourishment. Y'all see that? Y'all see how that works? Cancer energy nourishes. Capricorn energy provides nourishment. Cancer energy heals. Capricorn energy goes out and gathers what is needed for healing. Now, both of those are feminine signs, but one is the feminine and the other is the masculine feminine. Okay. That's a feminine axis. Okay. Cancer and Capricorn are on that feminine axis, but Cancer is the feminine expression. Capricorn is the masculine expression. Some people say it in reverse. I've heard other astrologers say that the first 6 signs of the zodiac are masculine energy and the last 6 are feminine energy. It's however you want to look at it. I call Cancer the feminine expression of that axis. Why? Because it is ruled by the moon, and the moon is feminine energy. So that's why I call it that. But, look at it as you will. Look at it as you will. Cancer energy nourishes. Capricorn provides nourishment. Cancer energy heals. Capricorn goes out and gathers what is needed for healing. Cancer energy comforts and protects. Capricorn builds the safe and comfortable environment. All right. That's the Cancer Capricorn axis. Next one. Next feminine axis, Taurus Scorpio. Taurus energy heals, recharges, and breathes life back into itself. It does those things, but it's to itself. Scorpio energy heals, recharges, and breathes life back into both itself and its partner. That's that Scorpio Taurus dichotomy. Okay. Taurus can do the same thing Scorpio does, but for Taurus, it's more self-centered. For Scorpio is the energy of sacrifice, so it's about itself and its partner. Okay, all right. Taurus rules over the 2nd house of my stuff. Scorpio rules over the 8th house of our things. All right. So Taurus energy heals, recharges, and breathes life back into itself. Scorpio energy heals, recharges, and breathes life back into both itself and its partner. Taurus energy transforms and alchemizes that which is physical via acquisition of things it desires. Scorpio energy transforms and alchemizes energy via emotional intensity, magnetism, and manifestation. Okay. One recharges and raises vibrational frequency through acquisition of materials that are high in beauty and perceived value. That's Taurus, right? The other heals and raises vibrational frequency through sacred energy exchange. And the Scorpion's challenge, this is the sacred energy exchange. Y'all know what that means, okay? So I told you how Taurus does it. This is how Scorpio does it. Now, for those of y'all out there that have got Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you say, well, we do that too. Of course you do. The head side is Taurus for you. The tail side is Scorpio. In every Taurus, there's a hidden Scorpio. In every Scorpio, there's a hidden Taurus. All right? This is why Tauruses are called freaks. And this is why Scorpios are known for loving luxurious stuff as well. You see a Scorpio, you see somebody that can dress as well, if not outdress a Taurus. That's how it goes. They both got the same energies. One is just more on the head side, the other's on the tail side. So what Taurus does through acquisition of material things that are high in beauty and perceived value, it raises its frequency by collecting these things. Scorpio raises its frequency via sacred energy exchange. All right. That's one of the things it does. And here's the Scorpio's challenge, the Scorpion's challenge. Its challenge is attracting, because that energy attracts. Okay. Its challenge is attracting a high vibrational partner that does not just take from them physically, but also replenishes them spiritually. That's the Scorpion's challenge. That is the Scorpion's challenge. If you got major Scorpio placement, Sun, Moon, or Rising, you already know what I'm talking about. You already know what I'm talking about. A lot of Scorpios have been through that where they felt like people were just taking from them and using them and not pouring back into them until they mature and learn how, listen, you're going to attract metal. When you're a magnet, you're going to attract metal. The question is does the metal serve you or does it not serve you? If it doesn't serve you, turn the magnet off, flick it away. All right. Attract something that serves you. Next axis is Virgo and Pisces. The Virgo Pisces axis. Virgo energy observes, analyzes, and heals the physical body. Pisces energy, via psychic or telepathic connection, analyzes and heals the mind and spirit. Pisces energy imagines what the state of wholeness looks like and works to bring it into physical reality. Virgo energy analyzes the product of the imagination, organizes it, and puts it into its best practical use. Okay? So Pisces dreams and envisions a beautiful world. Virgo turns that vision into reality. Those are the 6 feminine energies across the 3 feminine axes. Okay? Those are things that are necessary and needed in this earth right now, showing you the connection between 3i Atlas and divine feminine energy. All right. So shout out to all my Capricorn, Cancer, Taurus, Scorpio, Virgo, and Pisces, Sun, Moons, and Risings. And out there, shout out to all of y'all. Okay. Y'all are powering up right now and hitting vibrational levels in this season that your energy bodies have not known in this lifetime. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. If you got one of those 6 signs in your, one or more of those 6 signs in your Sun, your Moon, your Ascendant, your Venus, and your Mars, even. If you got Virgo or Pisces or Scorpio or Taurus or Capricorn or Cancer in Sun, Moon, or Rising, or Venus or Mars, y'all are feeling that energy right now. Y'all are getting some major upgrades. Why? Because of the age, because of the turning of the age. All right. So congratulations to y'all. Y'all are seeing some levels of upgrade that you have not seen in this lifetime. And shout out to Tor Girl. She just shared that. She said her telepathy is on 10 right now. So congratulations, y'all. But stay high vibrational and use that energy wisely. Also, stay balanced. Be careful not to overextend yourselves during this season, and be sure to pour back into yourselves. Be sure to pour back into yourselves what, Matt? An equal volume of that which you poured out. An equal volume. And that's solid advice, y'all. That's solid advice for anybody and everybody. That is solid advice for anybody and everybody. I don't care if you're a water sign, fire sign, earth sign, air sign. That's solid advice for everybody. Anybody can follow that advice. But it is extremely crucial for those that have their Sun, Moon, Ascendant, Venus, or Mars in a water or earth sign. It's crucial. It's critical for you. You have to do it. You have to do it. Okay. Air signs can release. They can release stuff back in the atmosphere. Fire signs can transmute by burning stuff up. But when you got that water and that earth, you tend to hold on to stuff. So you have to make sure that you're not overextending yourself and that you are pouring back into yourself an equal amount of what you're pouring out. Right? That's for somebody. Now, 3i Atlas and the activation of and fight against divine unions. Shout out to B Royalty. You've been sharing some cool stuff on your community page. Y'all check her out. Okay. One, let's talk about the marriage of the bride and groom in Scripture. Let's talk about the marriage of the bride and groom that we see in Scripture. We see it told in parables in the New Testament, but we also see it in Old Testament prophecy. I'm gonna be dealing with the Old Testament tonight. Okay. We know for a fact that it's parabolic. So, what if the marriage of the bride and groom spoken of by the Messiah and the Old Testament prophets was parabolic in a sense and prophetic, but parabolic in the sense that it was speaking of the time, a future time in the earth's existence where the division of divine masculine and divine feminine would come to an end and those energies would be reunited? What if that is the essence and what sits at the core of all of these Old Testament prophecies and New Testament parables of the joining of the bride and groom? Because they never mention a bride or a groom. This guy's the bride, that girl's the groom. It is symbolic. It's symbolic. What if that was speaking of a future time, which appears to be now, a future time in the earth's existence, which appears to be now, where the divine masculine and divine feminine energies that were separated reunite? Why do I still have that on the screen? Matt, you got to get better about that. Let's see. Okay, that's off. All right. Oh, I got to get better about that. I'm too hard on myself sometimes. Anyway, so the light energy produced, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the light energy produced by the union of divine masculine and divine feminine. Let's talk about that light energy that's produced, because it's not only visible, it's palpable. Why? Because it's energy. It's energy. It is healing life force energy. That light energy produced by the union of divine masculine and divine feminine. You can see it. Okay. Early on, when I first started learning about twin flames and studying it, one of the things I read is that when true divine counterparts, there are a lot of people out there that think they're on the twin flame journey and they're dealing with a karmic or they're dealing with a lesson. Okay. There's a lot of that out there. But when true divine counterparts, and I'm not talking like everybody goes through the separation phase if you're on that journey. Okay. When true divine counterparts are near each other, people see an energy. It's like an auric field explosion. People can see it. This is what I learned early on in the journey from reading different blog posts and different articles and such. They said when two people that are actual divine counterparts, they carry the same energetic frequency, they're mirror souls. When they're together and out in public and people see them, the light is unmistakable. That's one of the things I read. Okay. So the light energy produced by union of divine feminine and divine masculine is healing. It's healing life force energy. It's like when those two are around, people want to be around them. It's just weird how that works. It is magnetism on steroids. So let's talk about why the dark side has been doing something, albeit in futility, why the dark side has been doing everything in its power to demonize spiritual gifts, spiritual tools, and the sullying of the concept of twin flame divine unions. I think I just answered that a moment ago. Those divine unions increase the light energy wherever they are, whatever section of the world they're planted in, whatever town or whatever space they're in. It's an explosion of light energy when they're together. Okay, what does light do? Light drives out darkness. This thing is not about people. People get this journey mistaken, and they think that it's about romance. Oh, it's about happily ever after. Oh, the movie The Notebook. People talk about that and all of these different movies where you see these themes. That's not about that. That's a byproduct of the energy of two separated, equal but opposite parts coming back into union. Y'all go read y'all go check out my my twin flame / relationship playlist on my YouTube channel. I talk about in that first video, I talk about how if you take, for example, the cartoon Voltron from back in the 80s, you had these 5 crime fighting or evil fighting, not crime fighting, because they're like these galactic forces or whatever. You got these 5 evil fighting robots that are perfectly capable independently, But sometimes the enemy is so big that enemy is too big for one of those robots. One of those robots trying to go against that bigger enemy will get that robot destroyed. So those 5 robots come together and form Voltron, this super robot that is able to defeat whoever the enemy is in the galaxy. So the way that they try to deal with Voltron and deal with them is to keep those 5 lions from coming together. They try to use that divide and conquer approach because they understand that when these 5 Voltron robots, and y'all can go look up some old episodes of Voltron on YouTube, Voltron. It was one of my favorite cartoons growing up. They know the enemies, the workers of darkness know that when those 5 robots came together, they would not be able to defeat them. So they knew their best chance at defeating them and holding on to control, maintaining dark power, was to keep those robots separate. All right. But come hell or high water, those robots knew, or those pilots of those robots, because they were really machines, 3i Atlas, the pilots of those robots knew that in order to restore the balance in the universe, they had to come together to tap into their unified power. So now you can see why the dark side, and again, albeit in futility, has been doing everything in its power to demonize the use of spiritual gifts. That's going way back hundreds of years. Somebody got a spiritual gift that they were a God-given gift, call them a witch and get them burned at the stake. Why? Because that feminine energy was able to see that dark masculine energy of the church. Remember, it was the church that went after these people. It wasn't lay people. They weren't lay citizens. It was the church that called these women and some men, but they didn't deal with men too much. The funny thing is, like, game recognized game. A bully ain't gonna. You see these dudes that, I hate to use this as an example, but it's a real one. You see these dudes that hit females. They don't typically try it with men too quick. Yeah, I can dominate that little 5'2", 100-pound woman. When a dude roll up, same size or smaller, but with bigger energy, they stand down. They ain't trying. They come in with a different approach. It was the same way back then. Hey, let's corner these. Let's find out these women. Oh, we can't have them with these spiritual gifts. They'll tell on us. They'll show what we're really doing. Call them a witch. Brand them a witch. Go burn them at the stake. Hang them. Drown them. Whatever they did. That's what they were doing. Why? Demonizing spiritual gifts. That's dark shadow energy. Okay? Shadow energy. Jezebel had spiritual gifts, sadly, but she was a dark feminine. She was a dark feminine. Okay? They've been doing everything they can, demonizing spiritual gifts. And demonizing the use of spiritual tools like tarot, energy, things that just read energy, tarot, numerology, astrology, accurate, tells no lies. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. When I read a natal chart, I can tell you everything about that person. I can tell you anything you want to know about that person in a specific area of life or existence. I can tell you about them based on their natal chart. And I'm never wrong. The numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. So they demonize the use of these spiritual tools for the use of high and using them high vibrationally, by the way. You ain't using them. All you're doing is reading energy. Okay. What you do with that energy is up to you, but all you're doing is reading energy. They demonize those tools. And what have they been doing lately? They've been sullying the concept of twin flame divine unions. Oh, that's not real. These are people that are lovesick. They're love starved. They're limerents. They're stalkers. All kind of stuff that they do to demonize it and try to push it down. Why? Because light drives out darkness. So that's what we got going on in the world right now. That's what we got going on. All right. What can we who walk in the light do to come off of the defense and go on the offense? It's exactly why I created that secondary channel. It's time to come off the defense. If a boxer wants to win a boxing match, at some point, he got to get his back off the ropes. The most famous transition of back off the ropes to winning a fight was Muhammad Ali with the Rumble in the Jungle. Okay? With the Rumble in the Jungle. Kinshasa, Zaire. George Foreman, Ali versus Foreman. Ali versus Foreman. Laid on the ropes for how many rounds, absorbing punishment in his arms. Let George get tired, let him get tired out, let him punch himself out. But for him to knock George out, he had to come off the ropes. At some point, for you to win a struggle, you got to get your back off the ropes. You have to get your back off the ropes. You got to come off the defense and go on offense. Otherwise, you're just going to be sitting there defending your whole life. You're going to win a war. At some point, you got to go on the offense. You got your enemy on the run. You got to finish him off. If not, he's going to go regroup and come back later. All right? So what can we who walk in the light do to come off the defensive and go on the offense? Number one, balance your chakras. Balance your internal energy body. Balance your chakras. There's a bunch of ways you can do it, okay? You can use sound frequencies, sound bowls I heard somebody talk about earlier. You can get your right frequency machine, if you will. If you find a chakra frequency that you like on YouTube or something, run with it. Run with it, okay? Run with that. Balance your chakras, okay? Wear the colors that align with the chakras. Burn candles that are the colors that align with the chakras. Surround yourself with things in your environment that carry the colors of the chakra that you need to balance. If you need to balance, boost your confidence, get you some yellow flowers, get some sunflowers, get some yellow orchids, something yellow. Bring that into your environment. Okay, eat yellow stuff. Eat pineapple. Eat squash. Drink lemon infused water. Start lining these things that are in our environment, that are in nature as well, with the chakras that you need balanced. You need to balance your heart chakra. Bring green into your environment. Listen to the heart chakra frequencies. Okay? Just some ideas. Females, you want to balance your chakras? Make sure that you bring your masculine chakras into energetic alignment and balance with your internal feminine chakras. Some of y'all are very feminine, but your masculine chakras are weak. So bring them up, balance them out. Balance them out. I'm kind of not confident. Work on your confidence. Wear more yellow. Okay, that's that solar plexus. You want to feel more secure, wear red. I know people demonize red. Oh, red is when you're trying to be overly sexual or whatever. No, red gives you there's a reason why people feel confident when they put red on. Red goes to the root chakra. The root chakra is where you get your feelings of safety and security from. Okay, now you know why the Romans and the British, quote unquote, redcoats wore red in the combat. They understood that. That was masculine energy. They understood it. Okay, so bring your root chakra in alignment. Bring your solar plexus chakra in alignment. If you feel like you're dealing with a blocked throat chakra, deal with the color light blue. Listen to some throat chakra frequencies, a singing bowl, sound bowls, whatever. Do what you have to do. Practice read out loud. That's a great exercise for somebody that's trying to unblock their throat chakra. Get you a piece of text, whatever it is. I don't care what it is, newspaper, magazine, the Bible, whatever it is, and practice reading it out loud in front of the mirror. Stand in the mirror and read out loud. I used to do that, y'all, when I was a little boy. I prided myself on trying to be number one in, well, not in every class, in the classes that I loved, that I knew I was gifted in, reading, writing, language arts, that sort of thing. I would read out loud. I get a book and read it out loud. I still do that to this day. I will read text aloud and listen to myself and practice sounding confident. I'm not telling y'all to do something I don't do myself. Okay? So those are some things you can do to work on that throat chakra. Okay? Wear the color light blue. Bring light blue into your environment. Change the paint color in the room to light blue. Spend time in that room. Read aloud. Maybe you got children, your dad or mom or whatever, you got children, your spouse, significant other, let them listen to you while you're reading out loud. It's going to exercise that throat chakra and increase your confidence in speaking. Okay? Those are just some tips. Males, well, my fellas out there, make sure that you bring, I need to say this. Ladies, bring those masculine energies into alignment. Bring them balanced and alignment with your feminine energies. But be careful not to go to the point where you begin to lose your softness. That's what you got to be careful of. Be careful not to overextend. Be careful to bring them up, not over. Bring them up and in alignment. Don't work on them to the point where you lose that softness and that tenderness, because it's one of the things that distinguishes you from men. All right? Who wants to deal with a masculine acting woman? Nobody. Just like women don't want to deal with a feminine acting man. Right? Males, make sure that you bring your feminine chakras into energetic alignment and balance with your masculine chakras, but not to the point where you begin to lose your toughness, that edge. It is what distinguishes and separates you from women. What are those feminine energy zones? That sacral chakra. Work on that. Wear the color orange. Work with the color orange. Eat more orange. Eat sweet potatoes. Eat anything that's orange, sweet potatoes, oranges, if you can stomach them. Some people can't deal with the acid or whatever, But any carrots, anything carrot, drink carrot juice, anything that's orange in nature, in the food, spectrum or whatever, bring that into your reality. All right. Listen to some sacral chakra music. Some of y'all that are having trouble manifesting, you're having trouble manifesting because your sacral chakra is blocked or is weak. So work with orange colored crystals. Same for whatever chakra. Work with crystals. That'll do some research and find out what crystals align to that chakra zone that you need to help balance and bring into a restoration or into alignment. Sacral chakra. Okay. Your heart chakra. Don't be so tough that you can't give somebody a hug. Don't be so tough that you can't tell somebody you love them. You ain't got to be that overly tough, all right? That's okay. It's all right. You got masculine and feminine energy, just like God. Okay? Fellas, that third eye chakra, your intuition. Trust it. Trust it. Y'all got intuition too. It's more pronounced. It's a little bit stronger in the females, just like your root chakra is stronger in you than it is in a female. Okay? Now, a female's third eye chakra or heart chakra, her sacral chakra, they're going to be more powerful because it's a feminine energy zone in a female body. Masculine energy zones are going to be more powerful in a male body than they are in a female body. But you have intuition too. Trust it. Trust it. Your intuition, trust it. Okay? But that intuition, make sure that you map it to that internal eye, which is the heart and the solar plexus. Because they don't never fail you. Sometimes what you look at can deceive you, but you got to work on strengthening that. Okay, work on strengthening that perception, that pineal gland. Listen to the frequencies that go with that map with that. Okay, tap into those spiritual gifts. Tap into them. Don't be afraid don't ignore them. Some of y'all got spiritual gifts and you ignore them. You're afraid of them. Stop being afraid of them. Those spiritual gifts are products of the feminine energy zones. Water. Okay. Especially to my guys out there that have major Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio placements. Trust those spiritual gifts. Trust your intuition. All right? It's going to serve you and it's going to get stronger the more you trust it. Okay? So, also, be extra vigilant. Be extra vigilant regarding what you are eating and putting on your skin, fellas. This is for my fellas out there. Especially to the brothers. Especially to the brothers. Because I'm seeing some stuff over several decades. I don't have to say how many, but over several decades, I'm seeing some transitions of things that are look a little bit off. So, fellas, be extra vigilant regarding what you are eating and what you're putting on your skin, because what you put in your skin gets absorbed into your body. A lot of people don't realize that. All right, but I'm saying especially brothers. Why? Because this beast system has apparently been, and let me say that. Okay, let me make sure I'm reading this right. This beast system has apparently been. And I want to, for the sake of this platform, emphasize the word apparently, okay? Meaning that based on appearances and observation, this beast system has apparently been, for entertainment purposes only, this beast system has apparently been genetically modifying and chemically altering certain foods to reverse your dominant hormone. What's your dominant hormone if you're a man? It's testosterone. What's your dominant hormone if you're a woman? It's estrogen. This beast system, for entertainment purposes only, don't take anything I'm saying seriously, okay? This beast system has apparently been genetically modifying and chemically altering certain foods to reverse your dominant hormone. If you're a man, it seems things that should be adding to, or at the least not affecting your testosterone levels, is either lowering them or causing you to replacing them, causing you to produce more estrogen. And it seems the reverse is happening to women, especially our women, soul sisters. Y'all be careful of what you putting on your skin and putting in your body. Okay? All right? It's happening to everybody, but I'm seeing especially brothers and sisters. All right? I ain't scared to say it. My throat chakra is not blocked. While on the surface, in a homeostatic and natural environment, men are attracted to women and women to men on the surface. Beneath the surface, it's not about the gender. It's really about the hormones. It's really testosterone that is attracted magnetically to its counterpart hormone, estrogen, and vice versa. Estrogen is attracted to testosterone. When you understand this, you understand why we see such a higher prevalence of certain behaviors nowadays than we have ever seen in this country. And looking back, it seems that the tides visibly began changing around the 1990s. That's when the food started tasting funny too. Y'all, I remember eating. I would go get a box of Fruity Pebbles or Frosted Flakes or whatever your favorite kid cereal was back in the day. Silly Rabbit, Tricks Are for Kids, Fruit Loops, whatever. Whatever. That it used to have a different taste, y'all. I went to the Army. I came back home. I started buying the same stuff from the grocery store, the supermarket. It didn't taste the same. I was like, this tastes different than it. Why? You go ask people, oh, your taste buds change when you get older. Nah, this is different. This tastes different. It's around the 1990s, the mid 90s when you started seeing stuff change. All right. Genetically modifying stuff. Genetically modifying it. Keep in mind, remember this. If you remember nothing else from this presentation tonight, it is the hormones that drive human behavior. Hormones. I don't think they do enough with it. When I hear hormone therapy, I hear them talking about people doing hormone replacement therapy when they get older because, these are dropping, your levels are dropping. But what about the genetic modification of certain foods? All right. Why do you think they got to sell you a pack of chicken or a carton of milk that says has not been treated with any type of hormones or something? All right. Let me keep it moving. Now, what is Matt doing to help protect and defend the advent of the union of divine masculine and divine feminine? What am I doing? I talked to y'all earlier about it. I created a new YouTube channel dedicated solely to offering guidance to those who are party to divine counterpart connections, who for reasons that I detailed in my latest book have struggled to heal and balance their inner divine feminine or inner divine masculine, which everyone should be doing, regardless of whether or not they are party to a divine counterpart connection or not. Okay. As within, so without. If you fix your inner world, your outer world becomes a reflection of what you have going on the inside. Remember Matthew 6:33 and Luke. People doing some weird stuff with their tires out there. It's crazy. Remember Matthew 6:33. Okay, where was I? Where did I drop off? Okay. Remember Matthew 6:33 and Luke 17:21. Seek you first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. And where is the kingdom of God found? It's found within, not outside of you. Matthew 6:33 and Luke 17:21. Fix your inner world and your outer world becomes a reflection. And that is what my new YouTube channel aims to help the collective do. Those of you who have been with me for a while have already had a taste of the new channel because I've used tools like tarot here, okay, numerology here, astrology here, and straight up divine downloads. I've used them here, okay. Some people call divine downloads divine channeling, okay, or divine channeled messages or channel messages from the divine, okay. In church, they call it a word of prophecy, or I received a word from the Lord. Okay, it's okay to receive a word from the Lord or receive or the word of prophecy came to me when you're in a religious setting, but outside of a religious setting, you're not allowed to do it. Why is that? Okay, it's when it's the same thing, the same energy. Anyway, so okay, to help you all understand your own energy as well as read and properly interpret the energy of the world outside of you, that is what that new channel is about. My new channel will follow the same format. Only its focus is the Twin Flame Collective, who has had its back against the ropes for far too long. Okay, so now I told y'all I was going to talk about. I'm going to follow up with some scripture references here, and we're going to wrap up. I got 4 passages of scripture here from the Old Testament that talk about the union of the bride and groom. Okay, let's start with Isaiah the 54th chapter. Let me go there. Isaiah chapter 54, and we're going to wrap up. I see y'all comments over there. I'm going to hit them up on the way out. Thank y'all for being here. If you haven't done so already, please tap that like button for me. It really does help the channel. It helps with the algorithm, okay? I appreciate y'all so much. Isaiah chapter 54. All right. Let me look at let's go here. This says start at 5. Let me see. Where do I want to start with that? Let's go here. Isaiah 54. Let's just read Isaiah 54 and 5, and I'll go down to I'll go down to verse 8. We'll start at Isaiah 54. Enlarge the place of thy tent. You know what? I'm gonna read the whole chapter. Because you know what? Maybe this is where this is why I didn't write this down earlier, because maybe I was supposed to be here on this live with y'all and learn or hear that I needed to read this whole, not the whole chapter, but verses 1 through 8. Okay, Isaiah 54. Let me bring it on the screen here. Oh, I got it there. Okay, so we're good. Isaiah 54. Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. Break forth into singing and cry aloud that thou didst not travail with child. So he's basically saying, those of you that don't have children, celebrate. This is what the prophet Isaiah is saying here. Sing, O barren, that thou didst not bear. Break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Most High. Enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitations. Spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left hand, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Wonder when that's going to take place. All right, it wasn't 1948 state. They got a different prophecy. I've showed it to y'all before. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame. For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood any more. For thy maker is thine husband, and the Lord of hosts is his name. We know that's not his name. That's just a title he put in there. Okay. And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the God of the whole earth shall he be called. For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when thou wast refused, saith thy God. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Most High, thy Redeemer. Why did I put that scripture up there? Why? Because in that you see a parallel between the journey of the divine masculine and the divine feminine in separation. The divine feminine heals after going through the dark night of the soul, and she turns her face away from the divine masculine. That has two effects. One, it allows her to build her own strength and her own confidence and bring her inner divine masculine and inner divine feminine into a state of wholeness and balance, okay? But while she has her face turned away from her divine masculine, the divine masculine now does not have that support or that boost to his ego, and now he's left to deal with his ways and himself. So he then goes through a dark night of the soul and what is called an ego death, and humbles himself and heals from the things or the very vices that drove that wedge between he and the divine feminine. Y'all, I talk about some of these themes in the book, okay? Once he has healed, what happens? He comes into energetic frequency alignment with his divine counterpart, and we know that we attract who and what we are. We attract what lives at the same vibrational frequency level as us. The separation is a natural byproduct of the differences in frequencies. So that separation, that turning away, is necessary for the divine masculine to go through certain things and be healed or elevate or raise, see himself. to finally see himself and then to bring his inner divine feminine and divine masculine into alignment. And then the two halves, once again, become whole. That's why I had that passage of scripture there. You can find more tips like this in the book, Twin Flames, Understanding and Solving the Problem of the Avoidant, Dismissive, Divine Masculine. Next resource comes from Jeremiah chapter 2. Let's go there. Jeremiah chapter 2. All right, let's start at verse 1 here. And let's see where I want to go down with this. All right, and this right here is a word for those of y'all that's dealing with karmics that just won't leave you alone. All right, let's read. Hang on, I don't want that. I'm just going to read verses. Let's read verses 1, chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. Let's go there. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, Thus saith the Lord, the Most High, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thine espousals, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. Israel was holiness unto the Lord, and the first fruits of his increase. All that devour him shall offend. Evil shall come upon them, saith the Lord. All right? All right? I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thine espousals, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. When you came after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. Israel was holiness, set apart, special, consecrated unto who? The Most High. And the first fruits of his increase. All that devour him, who? Israel, shall offend. Evil shall come upon them, saith the Most High. Now, how does that apply to the current energy between divine masculine and divine feminine? There's some karmics out there that just don't want to see those energies come into divine frequency union. And they're trying to devour. We just saw the word right there. What did he say? He said, all that devour him shall offend. They're going to be offended, and evil shall come upon them. So y'all don't worry about these karmics out here. Don't put no thought energy into what a karmic is doing. I've talked with several divine feminines over the course of the last several years, and they talk about, oh man, this karmic is acting catty, and she's doing this, and she's hitting me up, and she's sending me this, that, and the third, or telling me about what my person said to her, and all of that is noise. And they're going to get that. What does the scripture say? The scripture says, to me belongeth vengeance. Their feet shall slide in due time. That's, I think that's Deuteronomy, the 32nd chapter. I think that's Deuteronomy 32. All right, just putting y'all on some game now. Just putting y'all on some game. 32 and 35. To me belongeth vengeance and recompense, or payback. Their feet shall slide in due time. For the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them are going to come quick. So y'all don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right. Let me keep it moving. I don't know why I had that one in there, why I had to read it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The side note there, the footnote says God recalls Israel's betrothal, highlighting the intimate bond between him and his people. Okay. Jeremiah, that was Jeremiah chapter 2. Let's go to Hosea now. Hosea chapter 2. Let's go to Hosea chapter 2. Am I still sharing? I am. All right. Hosea chapter 2. Oh, let me just jump in the middle here. This is a powerful, yeah. Yeah, this is a powerful prophecy right here. This whole thing really, but I'm going to read verses 1 through 20. Okay, Hosea chapter 2, and read verses 1 through 20. I'll fly through it. Say you unto your brethren, Ami, and to your sisters, Ruhama. Plead with your mother, plead, and she is not my wife, neither am I her husband. Let her therefore put away her whoredoms out of her sight, and her adulteries from between her breast, lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day that she was born. I tell you what, them ancient Israelites, I keep telling people that as wicked as we think we are today, we ain't got nothing on that. Let's see. Lest I strip her naked and set her as in the day that she was born, and make her as a wilderness, and set her like a dry land, and slay her with thirst. And I will not have mercy upon her children, for they be the children of whoredoms. For their mother hath played the harlot, she that conceived them hath done shamefully. And she said, I will go after my lovers, and will give me my bread and my water, and my wool and my flax, mine oil and my drink. Therefore, behold, I will hedge up thy way with thorns, and make a wall that she shall not find her paths. And this is that divine dance between masculine and feminine energies, eternal, y'all. Verse 7, and she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them, meaning she's not going to catch up with them. And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband, for then was it better with me than now. I'm going to pause on that, and I'm going to say to y'all, I cannot express enough how many times I've heard this from divine feminine who have and shared things with me, shared experiences with me, and told me that, hey, he just keeps running after the same type of woman. He keeps running after the same girl. He gets rid of one and then he goes and finds another one. What is he looking for? What's he looking for that he can't find with me? All right. Look at that. It's so funny I'm talking about this now because this energy came up in that divine feminine reading that I did on my other channel, Maddie T's Twin Flame Guidance. Y'all check that video out that I dropped tonight. Let's see. Yeah, that energy showed up there. Why does he keep going after that? I answer that in the book as well. I answer that in the book. It says here, and she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not catch up with them. And she shall seek them, but shall not find them. And then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband. For then was it better with me than now. For she did not know that I gave her corn and wine and oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Therefore will I return and take away my corn in the time thereof, and my wine in the season thereof, and will recover my wool and my flax given to cover her nakedness. Taking back everything. That Orange Juice Jones video. I saw you walking in the rain. You were holding hands, and I'll never be the same. I'm telling my age now, but anyway, y'all saw that energy in that video. Let's see. Anyway, verse 10. And now will I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of my hand. This is the Most High talking about the wicked, wayward children of Israel. I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts. Did that not happen? Did that not happen, y'all? And I will destroy her vines and her figs, whereof she hath said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given me, and I will make them a forest, and the beasts of the field shall eat them. Okay? For those of y'all that think that the land over there, where 1948 state is dwelling, ain't the land because it's barren, the Most High did that. He said right here, verse 12, and I will destroy her vines and her fig trees, whereof she have said, these are my rewards that my lovers have given me. That's why that stuff hasn't grown back. That's why they're artificially irrigating. Anyway, get me off that. Because it don't rain over there that much for them to have that thriving agricultural business. It don't rain that much. Some things don't add up. Verse 13, and I will visit upon her the days of Baalim, wherein she burned incense to them. And so that's many gods of Baal type energy, whatever. And she decked herself with her earrings and her jewels, and she went after her lovers and forgot me, saith the Most High. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness. But what did he say? He said, I'm going to speak comfortably to her. So there's a note for y'all, divine feminines. You know, some of y'all got divine masculines that are coming back into your space. Be kind. Speak comfortably with them. Okay? Speak comfortably. The instructions right there in verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak comfortably unto her. Look your best. Be your best. He remembers what home is. He always does. And I will give her her vineyards from thence, and the valley of Achor for a door of hope. And she shall sing there, as in the days of her youth, and as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be at that day, saith the Most High, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt call me no more Baali, for I will take away the names of the Baalim, the false gods, out of her mouth, and they shall no more be remembered by their name. And in that day will I make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven, and with the creeping things of the ground. And I will break the bow and the sword and the battle out of the earth, and will make them to lie down safely. And I will betroth thee unto me forever. Yea, I will betroth thee unto me in righteousness and in judgment and in loving kindness and in mercies. 3i Atlas, y'all. 3i Atlas. This is the reunification, but we see the same thing being mirrored with these divine unions that are coming back into alignment. Those of y'all that are divine feminines that I'm done with him. Were you able to successfully break that connection? Let me know. Because if you didn't, it's because you can't. And if you did, then that wasn't your divine counterpart. All right? As above, so below, as within, so without. We're seeing this cosmic mirroring of the relationship that the Most High had with his bride versus, by comparison to the relationship between divine masculine and divine feminine. And I talk in the book about why these energies are waking up now and why we don't see a lot of written resources about them. I'll talk about that in the book. All right. Last reference, Ezekiel chapter 16. Is that 16? I don't want to put these on because if I do them, I have to keep them on. Yes, that's a 16. Ezekiel chapter 16. Let me go there. 16 verses 60 through 62. Let's go to Ezekiel. Let's go to Easy. Chapter 16. All right. Yeah, I needed to go up on this one. I remember that now. Let's go to verse number 44. Let's go to 44. Behold, everyone that useth proverbs shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. That is what he's saying that the people around about Israel would be saying to the Israelites. Oh, you know what? Your daddy and them was like this, so this is how you are. How often do we hear that, right? Verse 45. Thou art thy mother's daughter that loatheth her husband and her children, and thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loathe their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite and your father an Amorite. Watch how the Most High breaks this down. This is an interesting piece of writing here because it talks about the relationship between the Israelites and those that were around them. This passage of scripture calls them they're like, family in a sense. Thou art thy mother's daughter that loatheth her husband and her children, and thou art the sister of thy sisters, which loathed their husbands and their children. Your mother was a Hittite and your father an Amorite, and thine elder sister is Samaria or Sumeria. She and her daughters that dwell at thy left hand, and thy younger sister that dwelleth at thy right hand is Sodom and her daughters. Okay, so he's speaking symbolically of, he's not saying that these nations are actually their family or kinsmen. He's saying that energetically speaking, because they're moving the same way, y'all looking just like them. Okay, let me keep going. Verse 47. Yet hast thou not walked after their ways, nor done after their abominations. But as if that were a very little thing, thou wast corrupted more than they in all thy ways. He's like, y'all was worse than them. Now, there's a reason for that. As I live, saith the Most High, Sodom, thy sister, hath not done, she nor her daughters, as thou hast done, thou and thy daughters. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom, pride, fullness of bread, gluttony that is, and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. That's funny. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. But the people that say they God's chosen people, do they strengthen the hand of the poor and needy? I'm just wondering. Just asking for a friend. Anyway, let me keep going. And they were haughty and committed abomination before me. Therefore, I took them away as I saw good, or as I saw fit. Neither hath Sumeria committed half of thy sins, but thou hast multiplied thine abominations more than they, and hast justified thy sisters in all thine abominations which thou hast done. Thou also, which hast judged thy sisters, bear thine own shame for thy sins that thou hast committed, more abominable than they. They are more righteous than thou. Wow. Yea, be thou confounded also, and bear thy shame, in that thou hast justified thy sisters. When I shall bring again their captivity, and the captivity of Sodom and her daughters, and the captivity of Sumeria and her daughters, then will I bring again the captivity of thy captives in the midst of them, that thou mayest bear thine own shame, and mayest be confounded in all that thou hast done, and that thou art a comfort unto them. When thy sisters, Sodom and her daughters, shall return to their former estates, this is prophecy, future prophecy. When thy sisters, Sodom and her daughters, shall return to their former estate, and Sumeria and her daughters shall return to their former estate, then thou and thy daughters shall return to your former estate. That's that Isaiah 16 and 14 through 16 energy as well. For thy sister Sodom was not mentioned by thy mouth in the day of thy pride, before thy wickedness was discovered, as at the time of thy reproach of the daughters of Syria, and all that are round about her, the daughters of the Philistines, which despise thee round about. Thou hast borne thy lewdness and thy abominations, saith the Lord. For thus saith the Most High, I will even deal with thee as thou hast done, which hast despised the oath in breaking the covenant. Nevertheless, here's the part, divine feminines, I hope y'all are listening. Nevertheless, I will remember my covenant with thee in the days of thy youth, and I will establish unto thee an everlasting covenant. Then thou shalt remember thy ways and be ashamed when thou shalt receive thy sisters, thine elder and thy younger, and I will give them unto thee for daughters, but not by thy covenant, not by your covenant. And I will establish my covenant with thee, with you, and thou shalt know that I am your power, that thou mayest remember and be confounded and never open thy mouth anymore because of thy shame. So you ain't gonna have to talk about it. You ain't gonna have to repent. You ain't got to say I'm sorry no more. That thou mayest remember and be confounded and never open thy mouth anymore because of thy shame. Why would you be confounded? Confounded because after all of that, he still loves me and forgave me and gave me substance after all of that. Okay? And he says, and never open thy mouth anymore because of thy shame, when I am pacified toward thee for all that thou hast done, saith the Most High. Similar energy, okay? Okay? That's and of course in the New Testament he talks about the marriage of the bride and the groom. That's the return. That is the return, y'all. Let me read one more passage of scripture. This comes from 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, and this is important, okay? This deals with why we do what we do here, y'all. Why you are doing what you're doing in your space. What did I say that was? 2 Corinthians 10 and 4. It's the last one, y'all. We wrapping up. Now, if that didn't make any sense to y'all, put it in the comments. I hope it did. I was drawing, it was a bit of an abstract to show you this energy of 3i Atlas, how it's all connected to the return of the divine feminine, and how we see parallels in or microcosms in the that's funny, microscopic what's the word I'm looking for? Microscopic replicas, if you will, of the cosmos. Microcosm, microscopic replica of the cosmos. That's funny, right? Anyway, 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, okay? Casting down imaginations and everything that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High God, that internal knowing. Where's the kingdom of God? The kingdom of God is within you. And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ, aka not the man, but that higher state of consciousness, that enlightenment, bringing into captivity every thought, okay, to the obedience. So you subject those thoughts to the obedience of that higher consciousness. That's how that works. All right. That's it, y'all. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but are mighty. So you got to use those spiritual gifts. Bring your energy body into alignment. Balance those chakras. All right. Balance those chakras, family. Let me, she said, I tried to break that connection. Let me read these comments. All right. We're done, y'all. I'm just going to read some comments. We're going to wrap up. Thank y'all for being here tonight. I do appreciate you all. Let's see. She said more feminine. That would entail wisdom to deal with the to deal with that unpredictability. I like that, Bella. I like that. I like that. It was Eve whose conception that would be greatly multiplied, like it was a curse. Interesting. Okay. Nothing is normal. Nope. Nope. That's those low frequencies. Yep. She said, I've been thinking and I've been trying to imagine who Mary Magdalene really was. Christ's wife. Yeah. Yeah. And let me say this on Mary Magdalene real quick, fair use. We know that in the spiritual community, in the religious community, she was seen as a harlot, blase blah, made her rounds, whatever. And then in the spiritual community, they say, no, that wasn't it. She was a powerful high priestess. And, you know, the church tried to demonize her and sully her image. Pardon me. My question to myself is, could both be true? Here's why I say that. Those of you that are on the twin flame journey, y'all divine feminines out there, y'all know by contrast to a lot, and this, I'm only speaking to the people I've like worked with, okay? The people I've had conversations with, the people that I've advised, people that have female divine feminines that have come to me and said, you know, how does the mind of a guy work? Like, I help them out, stuff like that. And they're like, what's the right way to approach this? What's the right way to deal with this particular energy? How should I respond to this particular thing? And I give them pro tips because I'm a dude. I'm gonna give them the pro tips, all right? But the thing is, in those cases, and I'm sure that may be the case for some of y'all watching this video, a lot of the divine masculines out there go through turmoil. A lot of them do escapist behaviors, okay? When you are talking about making rounds, a lot of that, and I'm not making excuses for anybody, but a lot of that is escapism. A lot of it's escapism. A lot of it has nothing to do with love. They don't love that person. They're just doing it to scratch an itch, or they're doing it to numb some part of them that's hurting. That's real. I'll talk about that in the book too, okay? But the thing is, when you understand that, when you understand that, and you understand that the Messiah, aka Yeshua, aka Yahushua, aka Jesus, aka Emmanuel, aka the Christ, whatever you want to, whatever label or name you want to use there, okay? When you understand that because of his powerful heart chakra, he in effect would have represented the divine feminine in a male body. He would have represented the divine feminine archetype. Well, if the female body represents the divine masculine archetype, then it is conceivable that, you know, she could have had a few rounds out there. I'm just saying. I'm asking the question, and this is based on anecdotal evidence of how a lot of divine masculines move. So that is something that I've wondered about, fair use, and you know, and really none of that matters, because again, if you look at the passages of scripture I just read, all of that stuff gets. Here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. The energy. Remember, the divine feminine energy heals. So for the connection to heal, the divine feminine has got to be in the energy of forgiveness. Has got to be in the energy of forgiveness, but she can only arrive at that once she has mastered her own energy and brought into alignment her own inner masculine and own feminine and inner feminine energy zones. Then it is the forgiveness that causes the divine masculine to look in the mirror and say, wow, I did all of this and this person still loves me and forgives me. And that's what triggers the healing for the connection. The example is the Most High. Most High Mother, Most High Father, however you want to look at it. The text says husband, so you have to look at it from a standpoint of the Most High Father. But the example was laid out. He went, he didn't sugarcoat anything. He went and called out everything that was done. But then he said, you know what? I remember the promise I made you. And I know who you really are at the core. I know who you really are at the core. You got excited. You got turned away by all of this stuff that you saw. Remember the breakdown from a couple of lives ago where I talked about the true meaning of that passage of scripture that says, enter ye in at the straight gate. It didn't mean straight as in not crooked. Straight is a narrow passage of water. Water is spirit. You see how all of this stuff is connected, y'all? It's all connected. I love doing this. I love doing this, y'all. It's all connected. I love tying together the loose ends. I love connecting the dots. It's all connected. All right. So go and watch that video that I uploaded to my other channel, Matty T's Twin Flame Guidance. I just uploaded it this evening. Y'all check it out. Do me a favor, subscribe to that channel. and be on the lookout for some videos that's going to come through, because y'all, we going on the offensive now. It's time to come off of the woe is me. This person did that to me. I don't want to be around this person no more. That doesn't get anything done. That does not get anything done. The healing is going to come in when you master your own energy, when you bring into alignment your own divine inner, your own inner divine feminine and inner divine masculine, and take that love that you've been chasing with and turn it inward. When the current is coming inward, guess what? Things follow the current. The current pulls. The current pulls things. So when the current doesn't push, the current pulls. You never heard nobody say the current pushed that person out to sea, or the current pushed that thing to shore. No, the current pulled that person out to sea. The current pulled that thing to the shoreline. Currents pull. So when you turn your love energy inward, you attract everything that comes with that. That's vibrating at that love frequency. All right? Heal yourself first, and then anything that's attached to you is going to heal. When you're in that blame game, that's not going to get anything done. I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear that, but that's not going to get anything done. But anyway, I'm going to wrap that up, because that's the type of energy I'm going to be dealing with over on my new channel. So y'all check me out. Matty T's Twin Flame Guidance. Everything you need to see is over there. Check out the book, Twin Flames: Understanding and Solving the Problem of the Avoidant, Dismissive, Divine Masculine. It is available in collector's edition hardcover, as well as standard edition paperback at my site, www.talfordarts.com. And we ran into some technical issues with the cover on Amazon. We're working through that right now. This book will be available on Amazon by or before the end of November. So for those of you that are outside of the United States that want to get your hands on a printed copy, you should be able to get it through your local Amazon marketplace. But why wait? If you like digital, it's available now in whatever country Apple Books serves, okay? Apple iTunes or whatever serves. So you can get it digitally on Apple or Kindle as well. So that book is a huge resource for you on your journey. Thank you all for being here. And I'm gonna read some final comments and we're gonna wrap up. Thank you all for being here tonight. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Okay, we left off there. She said, I've been thinking and trying to imagine who Mary Magdalene really was, Christ's wife. Okay. It's like we must elevate our frequency or we're left behind. It's not just physical preparation. That is exactly right. Home run ball there, Lady Dagger Status. Home run. 1990s Yankees, not these current Yankees. Okay. Aquarius, no, Apajita Banerjee, Taurus Sun. Got you. Okay, thank you. Salem Witch Trials, exactly. The early 1990s is when the sagging pants started too. Exactly. That's right. Said, can you show that name again? Uh-oh, I don't remember what name it was, Toro Girl. I'm so sorry. Hopefully somebody else remembers what it was. Can you show that name again? What name is that? I don't remember. If you can remember what I was talking about, I'll be happy to help, but I don't remember. I wasn't looking at the comments at that time. I'm so sorry. She said, yep, the food has changed. Thank you for these, Matt. My pleasure. My pleasure, Bella. My pleasure. I got to go, y'all. Rewatch this. We'll rewatch this, Romeo. You got it. Okay. I got to go, y'all. Rewatch tomorrow. Bye, guys. Gotcha. Okay. Found the channel. Thanks. Okay. Gotcha, Tour Girl. Gotcha. I tried to break that connection. Yeah, and it didn't work out too well. I know. Good stuff, Matt. Grateful for you. Thank you, KWBH. Thank you. You're very welcome, Lady Dagger Status. I'll rewatch it too. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Okay. She said, damn. Shanae voice. We gotta forgive these K's. Yeah, forgive your K. No, ain't no K's. Forgive your divine masculine. Let the K's do what the K's do. The Most High got them. The Deuteronomy 32 and 35. Remember that. Their feet shall slide in due time. You ain't got to even deal with no karma. Just move on. Just keep it moving. Move on. Don't worry about them. All right. So that's all I got, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. I love and value and respect and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hit that like button for me on the way out. If you're new to the channel, you like being entertained, educated, uplifted, and inspired, hit that subscribe button. Make sure your notification bell is set to all so you'll be notified when I upload new content. All right. Last two things. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. It ain't never too late. The love, energy, and frequency is rising in the earth. Get in alignment with it. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You got to show it. Love is a verb. It's a noun as well. It's a state of being. But when we focus on the verb, which is the action, the state of being always takes care of itself. And last but not least, you will only arrive at your, y'all are so welcome. Y'all are so welcome. My pleasure, y'all. Last but not least, you'll only arrive at your destiny by operating in the energy of 100% authenticity. Your destiny is looking for the real you. But if you are not operating in alignment with who you really are, get a natal chart reading, okay? Study your natal chart. Go to one of the natal chart calculators and just simply look up the meaning of those, what you call it. Okay, let's see. My Mars is in Aquarius. What's a Mars in Aquarius? What are the characteristics? My Mars is in Aquarius in the 5th house. What's a Mars in Aquarius in the 5th house look like? What are the characteristics or whatever? Learn you, and then make sure that you learn what Mars is for. Learn what your 1st through 12th houses are for, and then make sure that you're in alignment with the sign that you have there. Because if you're not being authentically yourself. Y'all, I have grown so much over even the last 90 days. Even the last 90 days, y'all, because I've been intentional about making sure that I'm in alignment with who I am. That's the only way I'm going to draw my destiny to me. That's all I care about at this stage in the game. I just want what's mine. I just want what's mine. If it ain't mine, I don't want it. Period. Okay? So work on yourself. The beginning of working on yourself is knowing who you are and then staying in authentic alignment with it. Y'all do that. All right? That's all I got for y'all, family. Thank y'all, and y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. And again, check out my new channel. I'll be posting content there 3 times a week, unless otherwise posted or unless otherwise directed. All right. And until next time, y'all, I guess my next live here will probably be the new moon and Scorpio video. So that new moon and Scorpio is coming up in a few days, maybe 10 days, I think it is. I think it's going to be November the 20th. So we're talking about 10 days. So look for me, y'all, in about another week, and we'll do that. We'll do those new moon manifestations for Scorpio. All right? Y'all take it easy. Peace.